Hello students, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to learn unit number 1.2, The Fun They Had by Isaac Asimov. It is a very interesting and futuristic type of story. First of all, we will deal with the first activity, warming up activity in Chit-Chat. We have to answer the 4 questions. The answers are given in the right column. Student have to select the proper answer. The first question is, what do you like best about your school? Second, do you think school is fun? Third one, which is the part that you don't like? And how often should the teacher give a test? You have to answer the correct answer from the given options. Now students, read the next activity, classify. Listen carefully and write each word in the proper columns. First one, ancient, prachin. Second, modern, adhunik. And third column is futuristic, bhavishyakalin. Here students, you have to read the words given below the columns and put the words in proper category. Then the next activity you have to complete. Grandfather, geography, satisfactory, superior, pronouncing, betcha, nonchalantly, floppy disk. The writer has told the futuristic story. How will be the schools in future? There will be no classroom, there will be no books, there will be no teacher. The author says that such types of schools may appear in the era of 2157, but I feel they are almost there in 2020 itself. Let us see what does the lesson has to say about the future of the school. I know students, you all love the school and now you are missing the schools because it has been almost 3 months we are missing the schools because of corona crisis.
Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed 17 May 2157, she wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book. It was a very old book. Margie's grandfather once said that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stories were printed on paper. They turned the pages, which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen, and then when they turned back to the page before, it had the same words on it that it had when they read it for the first time."
Gee, what a waste! When you're through with the book, you just throw it away, I guess. Our television screen must have had 1,000,000 books on it, and it's good for plenty more. I wouldn't throw it away.
Same with mine. Where did you find it?
In my house.
He pointed without looking because he was busy reading.
What's it about?
School.
School. What's there to write about school? I hate school.
Margie always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the county inspector. He was a round little man with red face and a whole box of tools with dials and wires. He smiled at Margie and gave her an apple, and then took the teacher apart. Margie had hoped he wouldn't know how to put it together again, but he knew how all right, and after an hour or so, there it was again, large and black and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked. That wasn't so bad. The part Margie hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test papers. She always had to write them out in a punch code. They made her learn when she was 6 years old, and the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. The inspector had smiled after he had finished and patted Maggie's head.
It's not the little girl's fault, Mrs. Jones. I think the geography sector was geared a little too quick. Those things happen sometimes. I've slowed it up to an average 10-year level. Actually, the overall pattern of her progress is quite satisfactory.
Margie was disappointed.
Why should anyone write about school?
Because it's not our kind of school, stupid. This is the old kind of school that they had hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Centuries ago.
Well, I don't know what kind of school they had all that time ago. Anyway, they had a teacher.
Sure, they had a teacher. But it wasn't a regular teacher. It was a man.
How could a man be a teacher? A man isn't smart enough.
Well, he just told the boys and girls things and gave them homework and asked them questions.
A man isn't smart enough.
Sure he is. My father knows as much as my teacher. He knows almost as much as I, betcha.
I wouldn't want a strange man in my house to teach me.
You don't know much, Margie. The teacher didn't live in the house. They had a special building and all the kids went there.
And all the kids learn the same thing?
Sure, if they were the same age.
But my mother says a teacher had to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches. And that each kid has to be taught differently.
Just the same. They didn't do it that way then. If you don't like it, you don't have to read the book.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Margie, school!
Not yet, Mama.
Now. And it's probably time for Tommy too.
Can I read the book some more with you after school?
Maybe.
He walked away whistling, the dusty old book tucked beneath his arm. Margie went into the schoolroom. It was right next to her bedroom. And the mechanical teacher was on and was waiting for her. It was always at the same time every day except Saturday and Sunday, because her mother said little girls learn better if they learned at regular in hours. The screen was lit up and it said, "Today's arithmetic lesson is on the addition of proper fraction. Please insert yesterday's homework in your proper slot." Margie did so with a sigh. She was thinking about the old school they had when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. All the kids from the whole neighborhood came, laughing and shouting in the schoolyard, sitting together in the schoolroom, going home together at the end of the day. They learned the same thing so they could help one another with the homework and talk about it. And the teachers were people. The mechanical teacher was flashing on the screen. When we add fractions half and 1/4, Margie was thinking about how the kids must have loved it in the old days. She was thinking about the fun they had.